First of all, congratulations on all your success with MFA and now Scrambled. How was it like directing Scrambled with all the cast you had involved, including yourself, Clancy Brown, and Andrew? And you even had a cameo from June Diane Rayfield, who absolutely just crushed her cameo in this. So, how was it like getting everybody involved?
It's the dream. I feel like one of the areas that I'm not particularly easygoing is casting. I'm pretty hardcore with who I believe is right for the role. And because from there, I'm I'm entrusting them with the character, and then I'm moving on mentally to something else because that's my big creative decision that I make is casting, and then from there they will tell me who the character is. And I love improv, so when you have the right actor in the role, they're going to be able to fly free and expand and elevate what is on the page. So casting them was tough because you got to fight for actors of that level and that caliber. But once that fight was won, then I just felt like I had won the lotto because I knew that they were just going to take it to a whole new level, and they did.
Right. And some of my favorite moments from Scrambled was, of course, the family dinner scenes with everybody.
Yay!
So, how much of that was improv, if any?
Um, well, we had two cameras on those scenes going because I felt strongly that in real life, family is barely listening to each other. They're always talking over each other and interrupting each other, and we're kind of in our own heads, and we're sort of putting out half-baked opinions into the ether, and we're arguing with each other. So I wanted to capture that. And I knew, and sometimes when you have one camera going and you're getting everyone's coverage, you sort of have to be a little bit more precise and keep everything a little more clean and not step on each other's lines. So by having two cameras, I was able to say, let's just play, and you can improvise stuff and you can throw stuff out and you can find bits. So definitely my actors, we all like found bits together and moments that were not on the page. And it becomes just play at that point. The hope is that you can start to find some real familial dynamics by just sitting at this table and forgetting that the cameras are there for a minute and leaning in, which is so great for you to say. I thank you for saying that because those scenes in a lot of ways are the heart of the film, right? They anchor the film, the family dynamic.
And let's go back to the beginning stages, no pun intended, but how was Scrambled conceived as well?
So I froze my eggs in real life, and I found the process to be really emotional and harrowing, but also ultimately very empowering and liberating. And I was sort of shocked and disappointed that there wasn't a film about a single girl freezing her eggs, not really knowing if she wants kids or not. And I felt compelled to make something that could reflect this journey for women so that they feel less alone in it.
And have you gotten any responses from people that seen this movie that made you say, wow, I'm really glad that I made this film?
Um, Glad that I made the film or
Yeah.
people that worked on it.
Uh, Glad that you made this film so people can relate to it.
So many people have DM'd me, which is really special. I mean, obviously, a lot of people come up to me in screenings and family and friends of friends, and that's all like really epic. But I'm always prepared for criticism on the internet. So I've been so awed by how many strangers have reached out to me on Instagram specifically to tell me that they just froze their eggs or they're thinking about freezing their eggs or they are going through IVF or they're single in their early 40s or they don't want kids and they've felt really villainized and ostracized because of that. So it's probably been the most rewarding and gratifying part of this process has been releasing my film and then holding space for other women's experiences and men sometimes. I've had some men DM me and say that they had no idea what went into this process or that they felt seen because they also feel that they're running out of time. It's not just about running out of time because of your biological clock, but it's just about the pressures of life and who you thought you were going to be and who you want to be and who you think you can no longer be because, life has had its way with you and the clock is ticking. So there's a lot of themes that I hope can speak to a lot of different types of people from different backgrounds.
And of course, you had this film play at South by Southwest recently. And how was that experience? Because that has to be one of the main film festivals on every filmmaker's bucket list to kind of play at too.
It was my second time because MFA premiered at South by, and so it felt very full circle to return with my directorial debut. And I just feel very happy and contained and at home at South by. We don't dress up a lot. We all kind of I wore like a cute little pink outfit, but it's just really like, you're in Texas and we're having tacos and margaritas and all my friends were there with me and my sister was there with me. And I will say that I felt just numb with fear because I had not shared it with the world yet. And suddenly it was on this huge platform on the world stage, on Austin stage. And it's deeply personal, of course, the film. So I just remember shaking for like 10 days straight, just trembling for 10 days straight. But I will say, my work belongs somewhere like South by, where I feel like they take chances, audiences are down for some crazy ride, and they're not afraid of getting weird and posing some difficult questions, and they don't play it safe. So I hope that I can return to South by for the rest of my life.
And with Scrambled, it's such a hard film to kind of discuss without getting emotional, right? So, with working with all these people, which ones were you most pleasantly surprised by working with from like Andrew and Clancy and your family and everybody? And do you all still keep in contact after the film as well?
I love every single person that was in my cast. I am forever indebted to them because it was my first film as a director, my first feature. And essentially, they're guinea pigs. They don't know if this is going to go off the rails and be a total shit show. They're taking a chance on me. And it's that first film. It's really, really hard because you're trying to stake a claim in this tough business that can be a boys' town. Um, so I'm so grateful to all of them, especially I'm starring. So it's not just that they're
Yeah.
taking a chance on me as a director, they're also taking a chance on me as being number one on the call sheet. Can she handle all this? And I also have to play number two, number three, number four to her. So I'm really grateful that these actors who are bigger actors than I am, being willing to back me up and be in my corner, specifically Clancy. It's a really hard role to cast, and he has nothing to prove. He's been in this business for a long, long time, and he's been in some of the most iconic films ever. Shawshank. I mean, he's literally Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob, and I'm so grateful that not only was he down to do it, but he was a joy and he wanted to rehearse and he never acted like this production was beneath him, even though he's been in big blockbusters and big budget projects. Santino is so hilarious, and I just think every single scene that he's in, he elevates and he just sparkles. And I'm such a fan of his, and I want to work with him for my entire career. I love to see her on Saturday nights. You see just what a brilliant comedian she is, but also I think she's got some incredibly beautiful dramatic chops. Um, yes, I stay in contact with all of them, and I message them, and we just stay in touch, and I hope that I can call them up in the future and they'll be willing to come back and play again.
And I really wanted to highlight Andrew Santino again as well, because you gave him one hell of a character to play in this. And he just, I'm so used to him on Bad Friends, and just being so comedic and raunchy. And in this film, he's really heartfelt and just plays it straight. So that must have been amazing to see him do like a 180 and his kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, in that final scene when he says, "And I'm always going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. Never," And then I tear up. That was real. I did not plan that. That's not in the script, and it caught me off guard because it was so um brotherly and protective, and he just really embodied it in a way that took me completely out of, directing the scene. And I just felt like a little sister with her, valiant older brother coming to her rescue a bit, which is true to my life. My older brother loves me to death, as much as we fight, as you can see in the film, and as complicated as that dynamic can be, and weird and fraught. Like, my brother is in many ways my knight in shining armor. So it caught me.
And has anybody reached out to you via the studio? I know it's really early in the year, but have they said, we're getting a lot of positive buzz about this film. We're going to try to push for it in a few categories. Has anybody said that to you yet?
If they're going to what?
If they're going to push it in a few categories, like best supporting actor or best,
Oh, like awards.
yeah.
No, I don't know about that. I will say that I have spoken to my big bosses at Lionsgate, and they're all so lovely and so proud of me, despite me always finding my own faults and my own insecurities, and worrying that I didn't, you know, perform like a blockbuster or whatever. Like, I have all of that in my head, all these expectations. And they've always assured me that that's not how these types of films work, that they're word of mouth films, that they live in digital, that they will find its audience. And everybody around me keeps telling me that they are proud and that we did the thing. But I think I will always be hypercritical of myself and my own work. But they've told me that they're very proud of me. I don't, as far as awards, I have no idea. Thank you for even asking. But as far as I'm concerned, my award has been just getting to do it, getting to make it is the dream.
Well, Leah, thank you so much for joining me at Infamous Interviews. It's been so much fun, and thank you for talking to me again.
Thank you, AJ. I just gotta tell you, I really value our relationship and appreciate you for following me in my career, because I know that this film is quite different from MFA, and it's really meaningful. The people, specifically the journalists and the fans, the film fans, and the critics like yourself, that have stuck by me and continue to support my work wherever it may lead. Who knows, maybe it'll be a musical next. So it's really meaningful to me to have people like you that are in my corner rooting me on as I try on some new hats and new genres.
Absolutely. And I look forward to anything that you do, Leah. So congratulations.
Thank you, AJ. You're the best.